I'm NichBoy and welcome to Pocket. It is Game of the Year season, and today we're polling the Good Game office to find out everyone's picks. Last night on Good Game, the show awarded its Game of the Year for 2016. Let's take a look, shall we?
And the winner is...
Uncharted 4! And to be fair, Uncharted 4 could have easily won every award tonight.
It was a masterfully designed game in every way.
It is hard to argue with that pick, but there are a bunch of other great games that came out over the course of the year and some great people who loved those games. Let's find out what those chumps had to say for themselves. I'm here with John, ladies and gentlemen, who is contractually obligated to tell us his Game of the Year for 2016. John, go.
Damn it, I had a really good little thing. It was going to be Battle Over Horizon Watch 3 Field 1.
Don't remember that game coming out, so pick one.
It's got to be Battlefield 1, maybe. It's really good, spectacular, it's epic. The scale, the scope, as Pete was saying this morning, it's just magical. The Forza Horizon 3, also amazing, magical. Overwatch, amazing, magical. Everything's amazing, magical.
If I had to pick for you, and I think obviously I do, I would say it's Battlefield 1, just because I think you come into the office with more excitement about that game, about things that have happened overnight.
Okay.
Sanita bida bobida fee fi forfeita Sanita Game of the Year.
American Truck Simulator.
Let's try that without the cookie in your mouth. American Truck Simulator? I'm so distracted by the crumbs flying into my eyes that I didn't hear American Truck Simulator.
So the first game that came in my head was you and the mullet.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, yeah, cool. Because I don't want to say Uncharted because Pete's like gonna shank me.
Pete's gonna shank you if you say Uncharted? Tobias Venus, you playing your Game of the Year right now?
Sorry, what was that?
Are you playing your Game of the Year right now?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
No?
No. There were so many good games this year.
And Pokemon wasn't one of them?
We had Pokemon Tournament, we had Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, they re-released Pokemon Red and Blue, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon.
Pick one.
Probably Inside.
Goose, you're pretending to work. Game of the Year?
It's a toss-up between Forza Horizon 3 and Firewatch. Forza Horizon, I had the most fun in, but Firewatch is the game that I will remember 2016 for. It was just unique. It was like, I sat down, I played it in 2 sittings. It just felt like a little vacation that I went on with this horrible story that happened. But it felt like a little encapsulated moment versus something that I'm just going to keep loading up every day. It was just this one little story. I saw the footage on the episode the other night, and I was just like, oh, I remember when I went on that trip kind of thing. I was like, no, that was a game I played in such an intense little moment. And so it stays with me. Perfection. Wonderful game.
This has been a surprisingly nice chat.
What were you expecting? Me not to be here?
Yeah, probably.
I made it to work.
Lynn, favourite Game of the Year?
Uncharted 4, I mean, what can be said about that game? That hasn't been said, right?
Say something.
It's amazing. It's the only game I played all year, but it's amazing. It's the first game that I've played that I felt like all of the relationships in the game felt so human and so real. And to have that happen in a game is incredible. I loved it.
Uncharted 4, winning by default. Rob, the Good Game audience probably don't know you, but they're about to find out a lot more than they bargained for. Game of the Year.
Overwatch, hands down.
Justice reigns from above.
And why hands down?
Because I didn't watch Good Game last night. I played Overwatch. That's why.
Jojo?
Yes.
Jojo Majojo?
Yep.
Game of the Year.
Dark Souls 3.
Oh, baby!
Oh, yep. It's just the one that just got its hooked into me, and I just smashed through it. Couldn't stop thinking about it while I was playing it. But once I was done with it, I was done with it. But that's the one that I think I had the most fun with this year.
This is a big call as well, because I think, apart from me, you're probably the person in the office who played the most games this year. I certainly didn't finish most of the games that I played, and you certainly did.
I finished a few, yeah, quite a few. But yeah, Dark Souls it's pure gaming goodness.
Baby Sam, Game of the Year.
For me, Overwatch.
Why?
It's beautiful, it's fun, and it's Blizzard. Just the game I always go back to.
And also, it's a game that now runs at a higher frame rate than 12 frames per second for you because you got a new computer.
1440p. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's good.
Would it have been your Game of the Year when it was just 12 frames per second?
Yeah, it's just so much fun.
It's a hell of a game.
It's my Game of the Year. Yep.
Oh my god.
Hello.
Rad, Game of the Year.
I would say Inside and Batman VR. I love games like Inside, indie games, and I love the thing that happens and I love posthumanism, so it was really interesting for me. And Batman VR, because it was the first time I was like, you could have only done that in VR, and that's really cool.
This is Game of the Year, so you have to pick one.
Inside.
Boom. E-Game of the Year.
My mental nominees are Battlefield 1, Uncharted 4, Dark Souls 3, and XCOM 2.
XCOM 2, first one to appear on this list.
Really?
Yep.
I'm going to go with XCOM 2.
Is it because I just said XCOM 2 first one on the list?
No, because I love games where you can customize your characters. This is one of those things that I particularly love. That's why I love RPGs. And whenever I see the XCOM logo, I just want to go back and play it again and again and again. And they did everything so much better in the sequel than the first one. I love the strategy. Every mission is like sort of like a puzzle you've got to figure out. Best game this year.
I'm so glad you picked that, because I was worried it would get forgotten. So well done.
Thanks.
Janet Carr.
Yes.
This is the last time you will ever have a Game of the Year, because it's a well-known fact that when you don't work in the industry anymore, you can no longer make lists. So choose wisely.
Oh, it's hands down for me. It's so easy. It's Overcooked. Definitely. Did you love Overcooked?
Look, I did love Overcooked. I did not play enough Overcooked, but I know you played a heap of Overcooked.
I still play a heap of Overcooked. Like my family, I have to bludgeon them. I bribe them. Please, 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 can we play a couple of rounds of Overcooked? I just think it's a masterpiece. Like the level design is so fantastic. I love the gameplay. I love the playing on the couch with my friends and my family. We fight, we argue about it. Oh, 3 stars. Oh my God, it's wonderful. I think it's a work of genius.
I'm joined by the final chump, Peter Burns, PB, Petey Burns.
That's me, Chumpy Boy.
Old Chumpy Peter. We left you until last because A, you were behind the camera filming everybody.
Yeah, we got John back there now.
We got John there.
Can't go wrong.
Go, debatable. But you also seem to be in the middle of a giant crisis as to what your Game of the Year is.
It's hard. It's a hard question. I'm sure a lot of people watching are like, oh, what could it be? It's this, or is it this, or is it this? And we saw with the people we spoke to.
Yeah.
Everyone's got 6 answers.
That's true. But the difference between them is they're all excited about their answers, and I think you've picked one. You're like, I guess it's this.
Yeah, but I'm disappointed for the same reasons that they're excited that they picked one. Because I'm leaving the other ones behind. And Uncharted, I think, is one of my games of the year.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pick it because that's not interesting.
Yep. And
Good
you have to
picked
be
it.
interesting.
If you're not interesting, why would you be on camera?
Exactly.
That's why I'm usually behind the camera.
Okay, so what is your not Uncharted 4 Game of the Year?
It is Battlefield 1.
Now say it like you said it to me 10 minutes ago.
Yes, it's Battlefield 1. But yeah, Battlefield is the one I think I'll put the most hours into. That's the criteria it's ticking to get it across the line. It's not doing anything particularly innovative, but I liked the little vignette story campaign, and I think that is what gets it over the line as a multiplayer shooter for me, is that the single-player campaign was actually interesting. What's your Game of the Year?
Well, we have not done that yet, and we will not do it until next week.
True.
I need to hold off, because there's still a couple of games I haven't played. I haven't played Steep, I haven't played Super Mario Run.
Yep.
And if those 2 games end up being incredible,
they could be the best.
That could just pip my current top of the list. I will ask you guys what your Game of the Year is, but I will do it next week because Super Mario Run, or more likely Steep, will actually pip your lists as well. But until then, join the Pocket D's Facebook group and Steam group. And until we next poll the Good Game Office for their best games of 2016, which I would say we will never do again.
Probably not again.
Well, we could do
we'll
it.
see how this video does. If it does really well, we'll do another one next week.
If this video does gangbusters,
if this gets to 10,000 views, we'll do exactly the same thing next week.
It would just be a new format. So share this video so that you can see it again. All right, that's it. My Pocket D's, NichBoy out.
Bye. Pierre.
Do you like games anymore? I love them. You do? A leak from Starbucks. Yes, the coffee chain, the one that tastes awful, but all American coffee tastes terrible, so by comparison, it actually tastes pretty good if you ask for a double shot and nothing on the top. Don't put any of the cream or bullshit in there as well. Americans, you just don't understand what good coffee is. But I digress. But I do think it's an important point to bring up because you're obsessed with it. It's in all your films. And also, while we're talking about coffee in films, please, for the love of all that is holy, whenever you have a coffee cup in a movie or a TV show, put some liquid in it. Because we can tell Rory Gilmore when you're just waving around an empty Starbucks cup. We know there's nothing in there. A leak from Starbucks, which reads,